In this video, I'm actually going to show you a lot of our processes and systems in detail here, all the way from lead generation, sales systems, process operations in depth, also the A-player team hiring. So I'm going to show you a lot of this in detail so you can see what we do and what we have exactly, what we will help you with and how it works, as well as more about our background. My name is Kilian Markert and I'm the founder of Consistent Performance and Scaling, and we were founded in 2019. And why you should listen to us, that's probably the question you're asking yourself with everything that's out there, right? So everything I'm going to show you are all the systems that we use ourselves internally in our own business. We run a 7+ figure business ourselves, and we have helped hundreds of others in the past 7 years, all the way from smaller agencies making just around 10K per month up to multi 8-figure businesses. I'm going to show you more of these case studies in a bit. And so what differentiates us is actually we work closely together with those businesses to help them implement our proven systems in-house so they can scale to 100K per month or more, even multi 7 figures. And the difference is we're not like an outside agency that you depend on, that brings you the leads on a silver platter. And we instead help you implement a proven system in-house so you have full control over that and don't depend on any outside agencies that don't perform or overpromise, underdeliver, or anyone else. This is what's working now. You cannot just depend anymore on outside businesses to fix your business or to bring your leads and things like that. Instead, you need proven systems in-house. And that's what we're here for, to help you implement this. So how would that look like? Let's dive into it. So any agency is actually just in these two situations. Either you can take on more high-paying clients, or you cannot take on more clients without lots of headaches and chaos. So you're either in one of those two scenarios. Sometimes it's a little mix, but it's usually either one of those, right? So if you can take on more high-paying clients, then what you want to focus on is predictable lead generation, so you can sign more high-paying clients and not rely on words of mouth, referrals, or networking, so you know exactly where your next client is going to come from, and you have this consistent revenue growth instead of fluctuations or feast and famine cycles. And this is then where your focus should be on sales and lead gen, which we're going to dive deeper into a second, how this would look like. And then secondly, if you cannot take on more clients without lots of headache and chaos, then you need to streamline your client fulfillment and how you deliver results, build an A-player team and or efficient processes and automations. And then the goal would be here that you are able to cut down the founder's time spent in the operations while clients are still getting great results and the churn is low, right? So you can spend more time on the business as a founder, strategy, growth, and then also sales and marketing, right? And then the focus would be more on team and operations here. And so I get it. In some cases, even it's a mix of both. And that's why we have the call where we sit down, analyze your situation, and then define what should be the focus and in what order and what is the best approach for you to implement these things. What I'm going to show you now is what we have, what we use internally, but no, of course, we're going to sit down, make a custom roadmap and implement that for your situation. Every agency is different. Your situation is different. Your offer, your niche, your case studies, everything. That's why all we do is custom. We sit down, we implement that. But I'm going to show you the pillars in more depth. And then from there, on the call, we will help you define that and make that custom to your situation, okay? So for lead generation, we have a lot of things. Like at the beginning, we help you analyze your best case studies and create a super killing, high-paying client offer, communicate that in a super attractive way to your target market, and then build step-by-step and predictable 100K per month agency client acquisition system. We have even a separate training on this on my YouTube channel that shows this in more depth that you can check out. We can link this as well somewhere. And the idea here is that we are going to build an acquisition system that is able to leverage outbound, inbound, top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. So you're not dependent on just one channel, but you're actually step by step building a whole ecosystem where leads are coming in at the top with different channels such as email, LinkedIn, social media, as well as ads at some point. But we're building this step by step depending on your situation. For some people, some of these are not relevant and then we're not recommending it, right? So it depends. We have different options we can use depending on what's best for you. And then we're going to customize those and help you focus on the right path. We are using all of those. That's why we have experience in these to help you implement them. Middle of the funnel, this is everything, where we have email marketing, we have all the outreach strategies, what to use. We have content here as well, what content to use. So in-depth everything, like literally all the types of training you could imagine, from how to do lead magnets, how to post the right content, templates for everything, outreach, automations for it, how to source the leads with AI, how to send them, what messages to send, how to reply. So literally everything A to Z you can imagine for these channels we have covered in more depth in our trainings here, and then all the way to how to follow up with them, what scripts to use here in depth. We have this all explained in more depth in our trainings. Then also going into what CRMs to use, how to make sure to follow up and systematize those leads, what scripts to use, all the way down here to making sure that your calendar looks like this and you have a fully booked sales call calendar like we have, as well as what sales process to use to close people, in-depth training, So everything you can imagine we have covered here, and then we will help you implement this, because agencies are at different stages, and some agencies need different things than others, but this is the whole complete system, and step by step in a custom roadmap will be built. Then secondly, once you have more leads, obviously implementing a proven agency sales process to then close those. We have exact scripts for outbound, for the sales strategy calls, for how to document this in a CRM using AI, so you're saving time, how to follow up and manage leads and pipelines. So you can see we have exact trainings on everything you can imagine, in depth, how to handle every type of objection you're going to get on a call, something like this, stuff like this. We have everything in depth. We have entire sales team SOPs for everything, so you can hire sales team members that actually help you do this for you over time. So you're bringing this in-house, that they even close appointments for you. So we have in-depth SOPs for lead gen, for all, everything I showed you. Basically, we have SOPs that you would be able to get access to as well. And then from here, we have sales tracking, financial KPIs. Very important here to be able to track your numbers. We provide you with those templates, so that here, we track the performance of your content, of your outreaches, of your sales team, for example, as well as financial KPIs for your agency, cash flow, what's coming in, what's going out, and even being able to track how you spend your time. We have also this in more depth to dive deeper into. And then from there, what we always do is every month we review your financials, how is everything going, and then from there redefine the 30-day game plan in more depth, what should be focused on every week, so you're growing the best possible way. So with these two pillars here, they are both connected. This is how you generate the leads, but this is how you convert them, because a big part of the conversion comes down to proper CRM setup, proper sales process, proper tracking, proper follow-ups, all of that. Without it, it's going to be super difficult. So these two is for what we use if someone needs more high-paying clients. And then, of course, the details will be customized to you depending on where you're at. We were building out different paths of this whole overall system. Then if your focus is more on team and operations, right? So you cannot take on more clients without lots of headaches or chaos, either because you're full, you're at capacity, or because, there's too much headache and chaos involved and too much time from your side by taking on more clients, then we need to streamline these, as we said before, so that your time is being reduced. And so that's why team and operations focus. The first part is efficient process and operations. So everything from client onboarding, implementing a proper client onboarding process, in-depth training and how we implement this, and then the process all the way from lead becoming a client to then the onboarding process, mapping that out, the fulfillment process itself, as well as continuation and upsell. And for each one of those, we have exact systems here ourselves, how we do this for our own onboarding, completely connected to automations, making sure that all of this works super simply, as well as setting them up from onboarding to kickoff, introductory call, then all the way to further calls down the line. We have complete, as we'll show you here, complete automations for this as well. Here, for example, client onboarding management systems that we use ourselves that we can help you with too. And then from here, we go into, then we have exact scripts for what to do during the onboarding calls, how to give this to your customer success manager, account managers. If you don't have them in the A-player team, will help you how to hire them. Same thing, client management, making sure you keep track of the clients. How are they doing, their performance, how happy are they? Keep a nice overview of them. We have exact templates for this as well. So you're reducing the churn, making sure they're happy, staying with you, you can charge them good fees, as well as they're happy, give you case studies, and they stay with you long term, so you're stacking that MRR. And then from there, also team and project management. So many agencies don't have this properly dialed in. They don't have proper dashboards here. How is the team doing? How are projects completed? Time tracking, capacity management, making sure all the tasks for team members are properly lined up daily, weekly, properly prioritized, properly prioritizing projects for different areas. What's the impact, urgency? What should be done? How does it connect to company goals? So then going into agency time tracking here, building dashboards dashboards for that. How is the team doing? Making sure you set up something like this properly. And then from there, team performance, same thing, task dashboard, same thing with velocity chart. How fast is the team completing tasks, as well as many more things, all the way from how to set up company documentation in detail, templates for this, how to set up proper structures for your meetings, making sure they're as efficient as possible. The team takes stuff off your plate, properly documents things, you're not going overboard all the time. Templates for SOPs, how to set that up correctly, all the way to how to prioritize projects and systems, and then all the way to delegation and freeing up your time, analyzing what tasks are you doing daily, weekly, and regularly, what tasks should you spend more time on, how to get rid of the tasks that are not moving the needle. And instead, we can help you also with hiring personal and executive assistants. We have in-depth training for that as well, and even things such as hiring a housekeeper that takes stuff off your plate. So a lot of things to delegate and free up your time. And then most importantly, obviously nowadays, automations and AI. Exact hiring systems, we have exact agents and hiring automations for this here, as well as for lead generation system. We have exact systems for onboarding and management, as well as for other types of system, depending on what tools you're using, Make, N8N, Zapier, all of that. So with this setup, you have already super efficient processes, if you have a team already or not, for onboarding, for managing your client, as well as then for team management and project management. And then from there, the goal is, of course, that we help you build an A-player team. And for this, we need to first do an A-player team roadmap. We need to first analyze if you have people in your team already, are they all in the right seats? Analyzing, are they living in line with your company values? Or do they want and have the capacity for their position? So are they in the right seats? And analyzing those here with our trainings. We also have other metrics to analyze that. And then making sure we're updating and building your ideal org chart, your ideal structure, your ideal team. How would that look like? Helping you map out here with our templates an ideal agency scenario, what departments, where should everybody be, making sure your team is as efficient as possible, and then mapping out a hiring roadmap based on who needs to be hired first, who is in the right position, and all of that, so that you have clarity on the roadmap, who needs to be hired in what order, and how would an ideal team and structure look like, so you can hit your goals for your agency, can scale it, and it works also without you. And then from here, once we have the clarity on that, then using our exact A-player hiring process, we have that entire process from ads to training and onboarding, like everything you can imagine. Clarity in the position, sourcing the candidate, getting applications, shortlisting, interviewing, final checks, preparing the offer, and detail onboarding. Like literally everything you can imagine. We have the full hiring system in depth, the most in-depth thing you will ever see for getting A players, from examples for positions here for hiring a campaign manager or an account manager, in-depth examples here, CSM or account manager, how a scorecard looks like, how job posts look like. You can see here we have examples for tons of different roles here. And then from here, job description examples, application screening form examples, how the posts look like when you run them on advertising as well, how to screen exact interview templates, what we are using in Selfs, the right questions to ask for different types of interviews, how to score the answers of candidates, make sure you directly screen out only A players, and then also how to use team members to help you with that later down the line if you need that, so it doesn't take all of your time. And then from here, the systems to make this super simple, and then how to track this in the CRM as well and use AI to help you with the screening process. And then finally, once you have selected with all our templates the right team member, then from there we have a team member onboarding process in depth. We have here an hub where they directly get access to this, where you can easily onboard them, where they have access to their resources, where they have access here to an onboarding checklist directly from day one. They get their tasks directly, in an onboarding checklist. Then from here, a company hub directly, how to document where they have access to everything. So they don't need to ask you for everything because everything is nicely documented. You get access to this. How to communicate to make sure they're as efficient as possible, expectation setting. So we have templates for all of this and help you adapt this to your situation, and how to develop team members, meeting templates, one-on-ones, setting up department meetings, individual development plan for team members, long-term, ongoing training and development templates. So we have all of this in detail. And the most important thing then is, of course, these are examples, what we are using. However, we know even way more than this, just because obviously what you care about the most is how does this fit for my agency, right? For your business. The question is like, how do we adapt this? And this is where we have the exact call where we sit down, because for all of these pillars, we have way more than this. These are just examples from us. But, you know, over the years of working with so many agencies, we have seen way more different things and are therefore able for different niches, different situations, different softwares, all different types of things to help you recommend to you what works for you, because you don't need to use the exact same thing we are using, but we can help you make this work to what you already have or what you want to use in your situation, right? So that's why we do the custom situation analysis and roadmap, because that's the next step that we do always. We do a custom scaling plan, and then from there present you in more detail how we think, based on our analysis, is the best path from our experience for you to implement, so you have a clear roadmap what you should be doing next, okay? And what we then always do is, like I said, we do always analysis of your month, you know, active clients, new clients closed, and so on. So we always get a super in-depth picture of how is everything progressing, so we can make adjustments as necessary and make sure you're also feeling really well supported, and make it really always a clear game plan. What should be the goal? What should be achieved? And then we work together and help you and hold you accountable that this is getting implemented as well, so you have a full system in-house. In terms of the support, at the beginning, we'll have a one-on-one game plan call, map out the exact roadmap, as I said, based on the analysis of what needs to happen specifically in your case. And then you get direct access to me and my team. We have worked closely with hundreds of agency owners in the past 7 years. And you get access to weekly calls with me and my C-level team, where we dive deeper together into the plan, answer all the questions. You get access to all our systems, all materials, and then we help you really high touch on these calls, as well as in-depth on Slack, to get these things implemented and make sure you're progressing the fastest way possible. You get, as I said, daily direct support via a private Slack channel, as well as there's a community as well, but most importantly, the private direct access to us in that Slack channel. Additionally, also in-depth one-on-one calls as needed if you need them on top of this first call here, as well as on top of the weekly calls. If you need extra support there because you've used this here and you need to dive deeper, that's possible. But what we've seen, usually everybody with the daily support here and the weekly support here, it's already plenty. Okay. And then on top of that, you get all our systems and processes, and we will be working closely together to help you implement these proven systems into your agency, and will help you make sure that they are working in-house in your business and are adapted, that it will work for you in your specific situation. Additionally, of course, we also have in-person masterminds with other agency owners and founders every year to connect in person, exchange, connect, you know, make partnerships, get more clients, get more deals, because you have nice connections there. Super valuable, and also grow by surrounding yourself with other founders who are where you want to be already farther ahead. And you check out our case studies, reviews, and results. I'll link a few here. You will find under this video on our website as well more in-depth case studies. Here you can see lots of different types of case studies we have here. You can check these, watch these videos, see the results here, where they were before, where they are now. Check this out in detail. Different types of agencies at different stages that we've helped here, as well as we have tons of Trustpilot reviews. These are all public. You can just Google it. You can just read through them. We just put a few example reviews in here that you can check here. This is all public. Just read through that so that you have this, you understand real experiences from people that we have worked with. And here's more example of case studies. You know, you can see different stages, all the way starting at 15, 10, 15, 20K, really scaling up to people already over 100K and beyond that. Okay, so that's why check these all out. We have also way more screenshots from client wins here in detail that you can check out here. Pause this video and check them, or just at the bottom we will also link more people we have helped.